The Rugby Championship is done and dusted. Springboks are crowned the champs, first time since 2019. Argentina have one of their most successful competitions to date in the Rugby Championship. All Blacks retain the Bledisloe Cup, and wallabies definitely show some promise. Now with the Rugby Championship done and dusted, we want to know who's the best. What's the best team? Who's the best makeup of the team? Who's the best player? So here's my Rugby Championship team of the competition. As always, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Who have I left out? Who is your must-have in the team of the competition? Who was the best player of the competition? Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe while you're there. Let's get into it. So here's my Rugby Championship team of the comp. Oxenchair, Cody Taylor and Frans Malherbe up front. Locks of Eben Etzebeth, Scott Barrett. Scott Barrett, my captain. Back row of Wallace Atiti, Peter Steph Dutoy and Ari Savia. Then Cortez Ratima and Thomas Albonos, 9 and 10. My centres of Damien Dallander and Jesse Creel. And back three of Caleb Clark, Cheslin Colby, and Tom Wright. It's a very nice, it's a nice team. There's definitely some, even for myself, I'm like some positions, there's 2 or 3 guys that could have been picked there. But let me know in the comments what positions you would change up, what other players you would bring in, who would be your captain. You know what to do. All right, so we got front row, Oxenchair, Frans Malherbe and Cody Taylor. So some of the stats that I'll read out, most of the stats are from the last round. So I've just taken the last round stats, but overall, I'm just talking in general. I didn't grab all guys' stats from the whole competition. For some guys I did, but my front row, Oxenchair, Frans Malherbe, man, these guys, when you talk about scrum, in my front row, I've gone with guys that their main role as a front rower is to scrum. And these guys scrum. Oxenchair, Frans Malherbe, and especially in that last round versus Argentina, that many scrums where they should have been rewarded with penalty tries and just folding that Argentinian scrum. And just the amount of pressure they apply through scrumming. And I love it. I love it. Oxenchair had 5 carries this last round and Frans Malherbe had 5 tackles. Didn't carry the ball at all, but scrummed. Scrum. And I love that. Look, there could have been, there's arguments for guys like Angus Bell, maybe even Tyrell Lomax or Ethan de Groot. But I've gone with Frans Malherbe and Oxenchair. Cody Taylor is out and out favorite here. Yes, maybe Bongyo Manambi, but he didn't play enough games, I feel like, to warrant getting team of the competition. So I've gone with Cody Taylor. In this last round, he had 8 carries and 14 tackles, but just overall, his line-out throws are fantastic, but his plays down the 15s, oh man, unstoppable with ball in hand, and just everything he brings to the game as like almost redefining or redeveloping that role as a hooker. And then he was outstanding. Bit of coffee. Lovely. So my locks, Eben Etzebeth, Scott Barrett. Scott Barrett, obviously captain there. The last game, Eben Etzebeth, 7 carries, 10 tackles throughout the competition. He's also last week got the most capped Springbok with 128 tests just throughout the competition. Just, man, enforcer, leading the charge with the physicality, loving the tough stuff, carries, tackles, hitting rucks, just getting around the park, like really, really good stuff from Eben Etzebeth. Now, Scott Barrett, look, there could have been, there's a few, maybe Lavanini or Argentina, maybe Jeremy Williams for Australia, but I've gone with Scott Barrett. Also because he's my he's my captain for this team. But man, just the leadership, the amount of work he gets through in a game, and he's kind of adding as that extra back rower. And his last game, he had 12 carries and 20 tackles versus the Wallabies. He was fantastic and gets my captain's armband. And I'll tell you why I've picked him instead of Siya Kolisi as my captain. So back rowers, I've got Wallace Atiti, Peter Steph-Toy, and Ari Savia. So this is the reason why I've gone with Scott Barrett instead of Siya Kolisi, is because Wallace Atiti is almost my player of the tournament. He was fantastic. So he gets the nod over Siya Kolisi. It was him and Siya Kolisi neck and neck for that number 6 jumper. But Wallace Atiti in his last game was 19 carries, 10 tackles. For a rookie to come in to the Rugby Championship and play how well he's played, just every game better and better and better. And it's like he's been there forever. He was fantastic. And then my player of the tournament, by far, every game is just better and better and gets through more work. He's so important for the Springboks. Peter Steph-Toy. Man, I don't think he's ever played a bad game for the Bokke, and last week was no different. 2 tries, 10 carries, 3 defenders beaten, 10 tackles, 2 turnovers. He's so important to that Springbok makeup, that Springbok team, the dynamic, how they play. And he's just, man, he's always leading the stats count in either tackles or carries or rucks hit or turnovers. He's just fantastic. Wherever you play him, lock or back row, he's going to get a job done for you and do it really well. Then Ari Savia at 8, 12 carries, 2 defenders beaten, 19 tackles, 1 turnover. Again, him and Peter Steph-Toy together. And imagine them playing together, and they're so important to their own country or their team. So for the All Blacks, Ari Savia, and for Springboks, Peter Steph-Toy, super, super important for their team. And man, they just get better and better as they age. Then by 9 and 10, Cortes Ratima and Thomas Obonos. Look, there can be a couple here. You could have brought TJ Perenara in, maybe Andre Pollard at 10. But I've gone with Ratima. He come on late last week, 23 passes. But the week before that, had 8 defenders beaten. Just shows he's a running game. But man, he's service off the deck. And I think just the resurgence, or not resurgence, but the surgence of the rise of Cortes Ratima, getting that number 9 spot over Perenara. And man, he's just gone from strength to strength. And I feel like for the next couple of years, the battle between him and Cam Roygaard is going to be one to watch. Then Thomas Albonos. Interesting one. With Argentina having one of their most successful competitions to date, I've had to put in an Argentinian player, and I've gone with Albonos, man. He's been unreal. Just his ability to read defenses and break apart defenses. His kicking has been fantastic. Ball in 2 hands, putting players in space, putting himself in space. He was really good. And 44 points, so just behind Damien McKenzie for most points in this year's competition. But last week he had 1 try, 8 carries, 2 defenders beaten, and he scored all of Argentina's points, 7 points. And he was really good. Just a new young player coming through, and I like what I see with him. And under Contempomi for Argentina, he's going to definitely be a threat going forward. Then my centers, Damien Dallender, Jesse Creel. Dallender was 12 carries, 60 run meters, 3 defenders beaten, 5 tackles. And Jesse Creel, 1 try, 13 carries, 102 run meters, and 4 tackles. Jesse Creel also led the competition for line breaks, 8 line breaks, and I think their partnership, them together, just so good, man. Damien Dallender always getting over the advantage line, and Jesse Creel breaking the line, but Jesse Creel's defense as well, Damien Dallender as well, their defense together, unreal, man. Really work well as a partnership. And in this Rugby Championship, every game have just together been better and better and better. And then, but special mention probably to like Chocobaras was really good. I thought Rico Ioane at the back end of the Rugby Championship also really lifted his game. And then Len Ikitau and Hunter Paisami, also a good centre partnership. My back three, Caleb Clark, Cheslin Colby, and Tom Wright. Caleb Clark lead the comp for tries scored, 6 tries. Last week he had 2 tries, 10 carries, 90 run meters. Really good off first phase, helping the All Blacks to get over that advantage line, but also just finishing of tries. And that's what you want from your wingers, out and out finisher. And he was really good this year and done well for him to grab that spot at wing. There was a lot of competition for that All Blacks wing spot, and he's done well to grab his spot. Cheslin Colby leading the comp for defenders beaten, 21 defenders beaten. He was really, really good this year. 1 try, 9 carries, 82 run meters, 7 defenders beaten. Last week, just, man, it's Cheslin Colby. Try and tackle him. Try and tackle him. What he can do with the size of him in beating defenders, but sidestepping, but also running over the top of them or handing them off, really, really good. And you would want him in your team every day of the week. And then Tom Wright at the back. Look, there can be a couple. There can be Apalele Fasi, I feel like, is probably unlucky to go to miss out here. But I feel like I've had to bring in an Aussie. And Tom Wright, I think every week, just consistently good. Backing himself at fullback for the Wallabies. Fast off the mark. Good kicking game. Good in the air. But just, I think I've gone with Tom Wright just because of him backing himself. And I love that about him and how he's evolved his game in that regard. Special mention to Apalele Fasi because he was really good as well. But I've gone with Tom Wright. Let me know in the comments, who would you change? Who would you bring in? Who did I miss out? Do I know anything about rugby? Let me know in the comments. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.